Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some concerning news over here on the future and the current longevity right now on the ongoing PlayStation and Xbox and also PC versions of Call of Duty. Now, if you guys don't know, this Call of Duty has been mostly really good, but at the same time, we've had some massive community reception on it where basically everyone despises this game. A lot of people have been quitting, and some of the viewer counts have been probably one of the lowest we've seen in a very long time. And it's getting to the point now where a lot of people that make content are even getting concerned on it. Big content creators are basically trying to move off of it, and a lot of people are just kind of not really feeling this year's Call of Duty. Now, it's either way, like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's interesting because at the end of the year, and usually as like the holidays kind of go down, typically less people are playing, less kids are playing, and it's been out for a few months, so typically any game is going to be losing, people playing the game regardless. Viewership's gonna be lower. It's just how the usual cycle of a game works. But this one seems a little bit more different. So I'm gonna talk about this, talk about some numbers and everything else in between, and as well make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, check out the Howl link down below for the Samsung pre-orders for monitors and everything else too as well. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Target Amazon links down below, and let's go and dive in the video. So we've been seeing this kind of pop up a lot more and more, and maybe I'll use like Jev as a good example, and a few other big content creators where people are now getting concerned. Like, we even have Jev over here with the recent video saying Modern Warfare 2 could be in trouble. And we're also seeing things over here with like Charlie Intel, which is kind of like a big Call of Duty reporter, saying we've heard from multiple people that Warzone 2's player count dropped over the break at a higher rate than even expected. Unclear what it all means for what will change at this point. Hope we get some good updates soon. This is also kind of coming off of this where a lot of folks have been critiquing the game for so many various reasons, where there's no stats, where people just don't have a good reason to play. There's no good grinding incentives. There's cool things like nukes in the game, but there isn't anything like super big or super interesting that people are really into. Even look at some of the community reception where it's like, I haven't played 1 or 2 months, and I played Warzone 4 to 5 times a week at minimum. Not sure why I just don't enjoy it as much, but don't even really miss it right now. Sadly, gonna go and play this weekend, see if I like it. No stats, no play. Waste my time playing something that doesn't count. Same reason preseason football sucks. And that's what a big thing is. A lot of folks like this competitive rush. They want to go and be like, what's my KD? How many wins do I have? Like, just all the general stuff, like to make the game feel like a real game. If you're just playing to play, I'm sure that's fun, but even games like Fortnite or Apex have things like how many wins you have or damage dealt and kind of like that incentivization to want to keep on playing over time. And that kind of leads now to even more folks even pushing in this one, where we can look at the statistics itself, and you guys can kind of go and see that the game is just not been doing very well. Now, at the same time, there's been like, I'm sure there's like other games. Like right now, there's still 134,000 people. This is only up on Steam. That for almost any video game out there is phenomenal. That's really good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying like Call of Duty's like fully dead and fully gonzo and no one's playing it. Because also on console, I'm sure a lot of folks are playing as well. But you guys can kind of just see this massive jump up, which is likely, that's normal. But it kind of just seems like it just dropped off way quicker. Like we're over here like the 300,000s around the Christmas time, and then it just goes and have a huge sharp continuous, by the way. Like, it's not like a, I mean, there's still a little bit of casual bump up, I guess, but it's been mostly just going straight down for a lot of these hours. It's been, and this is like a day-to-day, not like, whatever. So the overall chart itself kind of is just assuming that like, just people are just not really digging it so much. Especially if you can kind of compare it to other Call of Duty games and how long they've been kind of going. And then part 2 of this is that this has been one of the best selling Call of Duty games. So it's slightly different in the regards of like the game itself is literally a big game. Like, this is like a game where it's kind of like you have like 1 million ticket sales and only 5,000 people show up. That's horrible versus someone who maybe sold 100,000 tickets and 5,000 people showed up. Comparatively wise, it's way better. Like, it's a way higher percentage. Hopefully that's a good metaphor for you guys to explain. But the big thing is that the player count is just kind of getting scary over here. It's funny because Call of Duty is like one of the biggest talking points right now with the Activision acquisition and Sony trying to keep it and being added on Steam and all of this in between. And it's funny because it doesn't seem like the game is that big. So we even have articles coming out now with Warzone 2 player count dropping at a higher rate than expected. With the report, the Warzone 2 player count has dropped significantly, as we even referenced over here from Charlie Intel. So while it's not a surprise that the numbers of players for a multiplayer game have dropped several months after launch, it seems that they're leaving Warzone Warzone 2 faster than usual for several reasons. So while there's no basically big figures on this one too, you guys look at the Steam charts that I showed you guys, the peak was like 500,000 people playing at once, just like concurrently, and it just kind of seems like it's been dropping over and over and over again. If we kind of go through a lot of these different types of people and stuff like that, people want the old Van Verdosk map, hopefully I said that correctly. Basically, people keep on comparing it to the very first ever Call of Duty. The Warzone, where it was like, it was fun, it was new, it was fresh. This one kind of seems like it's not getting as many major big changes. It's not getting the love and attention it deserves. A lot of quality of life updates have basically been taken away from it. And it kind of just goes to show that the multiplayer, while still, obviously people are still playing it, enjoying it, people are still buying it, it's one of the best games out there, people are just not fully digging it. Like I said, we're seeing popular content creators. Like here's Jev being like, yeah, this is like my main game. Like, we see all these different types of games and people like it and they want to play them. Like they dig it. Like look how many videos Jev makes in the daily. Like I love Jev. But at the same time, a lot of these games out here, they need more refreshing. They need more updates. They need more people working on stuff. We're even seeing like someone like Tfue over here who's been recently in the news for Call of Duty Warzone 2, saying he explains why he quit Warzone 2 for good. The worst game I've ever played. Which if you have like pretty big content creators, like obviously he's not the biggest streamer. You have like the Nick Mercs. You even have people like Tim. You have Ninja, whoever, But when even someone like a Tfue is like, bro, this is one of the games I will never want to play because it's just not their cup of tea. Like you need that free marketing. You want people, like if your game's on Twitch #1 all the time, on YouTube all the time with these streamers, YouTubers making content, that's how you get the easy views and people playing your games. Look at how big Elden Ring was when it was blowing up on tutorials, on TikTok, on YouTube, and everything in between. Like it's just that big marketing side. So Warzone 2 is proven to be a challenging battle royale experience for many content creators and streamers. And everyone's just like, what's going on with this? They're just not enjoying the game. It's scary because this is like a big aspect of Call of Duty. Like the multiplayer is big, but so is the BR. And if the BR is not getting updates, not getting attention, and people are like have a negative vibe with it, it's not gonna be going and boding well for the game. So Turning Tenny, more known as the streamer name Tfue Turner. Of course, Turner has been talking on the Warzone 2 Activision, the latest Call of Duty Battle Royale game. The person grew fame obviously through Fortnite, has played other games too as well with Warzone 2, and we've been seeing a lot of these hot topics from almost everyone else with this. And they keep on saying there have been a lot of changes from Warzone 2, from the revised Gulag system to more openness on how the circle mechanic operates. However, with all these changes and tweaks, and this kind of goes for the general Call of Duty community as well, everyone believes that this game is just mediocre. Tfue believed that Warzone 2 had too many problems to even be considered a good game. So many fans of Tfue and Warzone 2 are still unsure as to why he quit playing Warzone 2 and moved back to Fortnite and Minecraft. And the big answer is over here, where he goes and says, I can't even play this game. The game is just a joke. He's getting instantly like down from kill streaks, just thinking the game itself is mediocre, and all the other various just very lack of attention, lack of updates, lack of anything that was based in the first game. And like I mentioned, a lot of folks are kind of upset because there's a lot of good quality of life improvements in the very first Warzone, because the game was out for quite a few years. So over time, the community was able to complain, adjust it, make it better, and all that, which is good. We like this. But the secondary part of this is that if they don't have this attention and they backtrack these quality of life updates, it's kind of like you make a brand new cake recipe. It turns out phenomenal after 3 years. Although it's getting dated, you've been making it for 3 years, you want to try something new. So then you try a brand new strawberry cake, but you completely forgot about all the brand new cool changes of making the cake moist, or the icing ratio, and it's just a complete failure. It's the same thing you did on day 1 on the prior game. It's no, you're working on the game and they want to have those same quality of life updates that people liked onto the brand new cake. You want your cake and eat it too. That was a good segue for a metaphor, you gotta admit, at the end of the day. But we're kind of seeing the stuff where even big content creators, the streamers, the YouTubers who enjoy these FPS games, they're saying bro, this is literally the worst game I've ever played in my life. You don't realize until you play this game alone, this is the worst game ever too as well. And then they also said if they removed the trios and quads, then Warzone 2 would just actually just die, because it's just that bad if you're not getting revived by your friends and teammates and all of this. And I'll be honest, like, I played a little bit of Warzone when it came out. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience, but it just wasn't really that good, and the game kind of fell flat. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Have you guys even been checking out Call of Duty? Do you guys even care? Do you guys want the future Call of Duty? And it's kind of funny because PlayStation and Xbox are fighting so much for it, when most of the gaming content creators and users are not really even digging it in the first place. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well. Make sure you guys go check out the Amazon links down below, the Target links down below, and the Twitter and Twitch stream too if you guys want to follow. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys just for existing. Have a good Sunday.